All right. Okay. Okay. Good evening. Happy Sunday. Oh, I was here. Okay. You're welcome. Good evening. Wow. I welcome everyone. Today, we're going to be as brief as possible because we're mindful of the fact that tomorrow is another working day. You're welcome. I'm glad that those of you who were here, you still saw the need to be here today. So I welcome everyone, and it's a great time today because we are here to learn the three pillars that will enable us build healthy and strong marriages, just like I said yesterday. And these three pillars, as we discuss them, we'll be able to see a lot of blind spots that people are not even understanding when it comes to those three pillars. And I know that as we go through, you will be able to identify a lot of things, understand what the relationship is, and be able to build a strong foundation. Once again, I welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being intentional about your marital life. And so today, we're starting with the three essential pillars for building a strong, satisfying marriage. I want us to note that strong. What does it mean to be strong? It cannot be easily destroyed. So when we say the pillars are strong, they are not easily destroyed. Satisfying. A satisfying marriage is a marriage you feel fulfilled. You feel happy. You feel satisfied because you are seen. It's not as if you got married and you don't even know your focus on what they are learning and run with it. Having and building that strong and satisfying marriage is inevitable. And so I would like to start with the first one. The first pillar is being a desirable, flourishing spouse. Why? Personal harmony precedes mutual harmony. And so, if you are going to experience fulfillment, I started that yesterday when I was talking about, femininity and masculinity. So, if we are going to, if you are going to be a desirable and flourishing spouse, then you must be able to understand some things about yourself. If your marriage is going to be strong and fulfilling, if your marriage is going to be strong and satisfying, it starts with you. I want you to go to the comment section and write, "It starts with me." I want that to sink into the heart of everyone. It starts with me. Just go and write, "It starts with me." It starts with me. Being, experiencing a strong and fulfilling marriage starts with you. So I want you to go there, right? It starts with me. I want it to really sink first that experiencing that starts with you. All right? Okay. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for writing that. Now, who is a desirable spouse? What does it mean to be desirable? That means someone who is worth having. To be desirable means to be worth having. To be worth having. It's not, you are like you're an asset, you are not a liability. So when you are desirable, it means you are a value-adding human being, whether male or female. So when you are desirable, you are impactful. You have something to give out. And to be a flourishing spouse, to be flourishing means to be to develop, to grow. You are such a person that is not the way you were last year, that you are. You are intentional with your growth level. If we ask some people, when last did you do any self-development, activity? When last did you improve on yourself? Most people don't even know what they are to improve on. All they are just waiting for is for that wedding day. They are just waiting for that man who will just come. They are waiting for that lady who will just come in and just let's go get married. I'm of age. All my friends are married, and my family members, they are all pressurizing me to get married. And after the pressure becomes depression. So the first pillar that you must be intentional about is that being a desirable and flourishing spouse. Your personal harmony with yourself, you must first of all sort out yourself. You must first of all satisfy yourself by understanding different aspects of your life. You must first of all understand who you are. And that is why you must know how satisfied you are as a single. Right there where you are listening to me, you can ask yourself that question. How satisfied am I? In every aspect of life, not only marriage. Marriage is not about, okay, I have somebody to marry. It's more than that. And so that is why before you even say, oh, I want to be a strong and fulfilling marriage, you must understand how satisfied you are about your life. How satisfied are you about your financial life, spiritual life, your mental capacity, your emotional capacity, your communication skills, your relationship skills? How satisfied are you? If you can say you should rate yourself now and tell yourself how satisfied are you at this how satisfied you are at this level, what will you give yourself? That is a question to answer. No need to write it, because we are not here to judge ourselves. We are here to discover a lot of blind spots that has made us just to be in one spot. So your spouse is not your savior. That is one thing you must understand. Rushing into marriage to escape your life can be a red flag. And that is why most people rush in, and when they get married, they say that the solution did not come. Instead, they even experience more. So you must understand that marriage is not an escape from reality. Your partner cannot fix your life for you, so you need to fix it if you are going to build a strong and fulfilling marriage. You need to fix yourself first. So whether you are here, you have just been waiting. I have a lot of singles, interacting with them. Okay, what are your values? What is your vision? And they're just looking at me and like, well, I just know that I like to be godly. I like to have somebody who is godly, and they don't even have something tangible to say. I was in the midst of some singles some time ago, and I called each one of them. Said, okay, what is your value? What are your non-negotiables? And none of them could answer. They didn't even understand it. And all these youths I was talking about, they are of age. When I say of age, they have graduated and they just feel that, okay, it's just time to settle down maritally. And none of them could answer What are your values? And you are waiting for somebody, just waiting for a man to come, or you are just waiting for a woman to come. You are tired of cooking every time. You are tired of doing a lot of things. You just want to marry. Some time ago, because I have a community and as a professional coach, we interact with a lot of people in order to help them uncover and fix a lot of things. And he was so much interested in having a relationship, but all the professional tools administered, he couldn't even respond. He couldn't feel any, he couldn't answer them. And he was always reaching out, expressing the need to be connected to a life partner. But you're not even satisfied with your life. And he kept complaining about financial, challenges. And so all he was looking out for was that, okay, let me even have a woman, a lady, who we could hustle together and and build it. Fine. It's not as if you shouldn't get somebody who, you know, will be able to hustle with you, but you must have gotten to a level where you are satisfied about your life. And when somebody is coming into your space, you know you are just working as a team. So you're not seeing that person as a savior, especially ladies. So I want us to understand that rushing into marriage, I just want to leave because of age, I'm of age, or because of several reasons, it it can just be a red flag. And so you must understand how satisfied you are. You must sit down tonight and ask yourself, am I satisfied with my life? And I want to ask you, assuming that you were sent to like a mall to go and get something for yourself, and you get there and you see someone who is like you, will you desire to buy you? Will that person, will that thing be so desirable that you could just buy you? Are you so satisfied that yes, if you are placed on a shelf and they say, okay, go and buy, can you buy you with the level you are now? And so if you cannot buy yourself, if you are not satisfied with your life, if you are not satisfied with who you are, then it shows that there is a need to do more. Those are blind spots that you need to really fix before. If you are not married, if you are still single, you need to fix before you choose a partner. When you are not satisfied, you will choose wrongly. But when you are satisfied with your life, it gives you that inner strength to be able to know who to come into your space. But if you are not satisfied, you are going to rush into marriage. You will see marriage as an escape route. And at the end of the day, you cannot experience a fulfilling marriage. So this is a question I want you to go home with as we go ahead tonight. Now, what you also need to understand, we are still considering the first pillar one, that is being a desirable spouse. When we say we have a happy home, happy marriage, it is not just by definition. A happy marriage is a marriage that has two happy people. So you cannot say you have a happy marriage when the two people are not happy. The fact that maybe you are a believer, maybe because you are religious, you go to church, doesn't make you to be happy. Because now somebody is in your space and the way you are able to work together will determine how happy you are. So this pillar one, we are trying to check blind spots that people are not even aware of. What did we say about blind spots yesterday? A blind spot is something you do not see or recognize, even though they exist and determine a lot of things about your life. And so your attachment style and your birth family order is another blind spots that you may not be aware of. You are not seeing it, you're not recognizing it, but is affecting the relationship, but you don't know what is happening. Your attachment style, what do I mean by attachment style? Your relationship with your parents. We are all worthy ambassadors of those who raised us, and our relationship dynamics often mirror that of our most significant influence on marriage. Our parents or primary guidance, your experiences while growing up, your attachment, your connection, your relationship. Some attachments could be secure. We have secure attachment. This type of attachment is such that you grew up in a secure environment. You're free to express yourself. You are not judged. You have parents who listen to you. You have parents who are always there for you. And that when there are errors, the first place you think of is home. Let me get in touch with my parents. When you are in trouble, you are not looking for friends. You are not looking because you feel so comfortable in that family. That is a secure attachment style. I told my husband some months ago when our son rounded up his the youth service, and he was like, he, he couldn't just wait to just come home. And that statement meant so much to me. I told my husband, I said, wow, for a grown-up, child to still really desire to go home and just feel among his people meant so much to me. You feel secure. You just want to rest. You see your home as a resting place. That is a secure attachment. We also have those who are insecure. Those are the two attachment styles we have: the secure attachment, insecure attachment style. And the insecure attachment style could be that you grew up from a home that parents were not available. You were always abused. Your voice was not heard. You were not seen. You were not reckoned with. It could be with your parents or even guardians. So you grew up not feeling wanted. So those are negative attachment styles, and you may not understand the impact until you are in a relationship and it starts playing out. And if you are not even with maybe professionals who could help you with tools to really discover yourself, you may not know where your behaviors, your attitude, where they are coming from, the origin. So your attachment style goes a long way to determine how you choose a partner, to choose the right partner, how you relate in your relationship. There was a young lady who was accused in school of, with some other students, of unworthy character, that they did some things like immoral acts. And the lady got back home. The parents were so disappointed, and they were like, so you could do this. And the girl was telling them, no, I was not among. They just packed all of us together, but they didn't believe her. They took her to the hospital, told the doctor to test her to be sure that she was not involved in any immoral act. The doctor did his work and found out that she was still intact. And that attachment style that parents did not believe her went a long way to affect her. As time went on, all she was desiring was just to leave that home. She was a bride, one of the chief bridesmaids. A man saw her and she just agreed. Why? Because she wanted to leave home. She wanted to leave a place where she was always judged. They didn't trust her. The attachment style was insecure. Unfortunately, she went into a wrong relationship. If only she had understood that that was a blind spot that she needed to fix before getting married, she would have gone through a process, because all these things you cannot just get over them by yourself. She would have gone through a process where she would have been able to detach and become herself before going out. 3 years into the marriage, there were serious issues that she couldn't go further after having children. So that is that relationship, that attachment side, how it could go. So you need to ask yourself a lot of questions tonight as we are going through this class. What is your attachment style? Your birth order too goes a long way to affect your relationship and your choice of life partner. To be a firstborn, if your birth order is, the firstborn, what I mean by birth order is your position among your siblings. And so if you are the firstborn, that tendency to grow up carrying responsibilities, taking care of younger ones, that leadership skill you just have to, in fact, as early as maybe 7 years, you are already coordinating, you are in charge of the house, you are monitoring your siblings. And if you are not careful, when you get into your relationship as a lady, you will just want to continue to dictate, okay, let us do it like this. And if your partner is like, calm down, let us talk, and you just feel like, but why? This is what we should do. But you wouldn't know that your birth order had already dropped something in you. A lot of birth order issues have been experienced during counseling. But when they come for counseling and they realize that, oh, you need to understand the birth order of a firstborn, you need to understand the birth order of a secondborn, lastborn, only child, maybe the only gender child, maybe you are the only female, you are the only male. You need to understand your birth order, the dynamics that may affect you. Do you understand? That may affect you. So somebody who is like maybe middle born, you are quite diplomatic because you have elder ones, you have younger ones, and so you always want to ensure things are going on well together. When you get married, you could just come to a relationship where you are not specific, you are not straightforward, because you have not lived your life to just be decisive. You can be the only child, that attachment to parents where you just lived under the focus and under the dictates of parents, and you just get your relationship and you're not even able to to live well because you've lived all your life as a single, the only child, being told what to do, being pampered, and so maybe getting married to a firstborn who is always in charge. Especially if let's assume that the last born is the female child, the firstborn, the son, the husband is the firstborn. And he wants a lot of things to be done. And he's wondering, why have you not taken steps? But the last born is just waiting for somebody who would just push her, talk to her, encourage her. And some firstborns don't even have that time. They give you instruction, and if you don't deliver, you're on your own. And before you know it, a lot of issues start developing. And so you must understand that your attachment style with your parents and your birth order, they are blind spots that you may not see or recognize, but they exist and they are determining and defining the person, how your relationship have been ending. Maybe you have been breaking down, or how you have not been experiencing peace in your marriage. If you are engaged, maybe you are just having issues with your partner. So this is another area you need to check into. And when we talk of this attachment styles, is just like I said earlier, is either you are secure, If your attachment style is secure, your thought about your partner will be positive. Healthy boundaries, there will be mutual trust and support. You'll be able to have controlled conflict resolution. There will be peace. But if it's negative, you're anxious, dismissive, avoidant, fearful avoidant, then you will not experience a lot of peace and bliss if you don't take them off. Those are the relationship styles we have. And another blind spot is unresolved trauma and issues from toxic relationships. As a professional coach, I always encourage those who had like unpleasant relationship, maybe they just broke up, not to go into another relationship immediately until you are healed, until you sit down to understand what happened in that previous relationship, why it ended, and what you should improve on. There are some relationship that ended that you wouldn't even know you were the cause. But you would have blamed the partner, blamed the other person. Oh, she was the cause. He was the cause. Yes, I did my best until you come to a professional, coach, and you are passed, you are given some tools, assessments. Because as a professional coach, you are not just a professional coach doesn't just talk and counsel, We talk and we counsel based on your individuality, who you are. And so you will just realize that you have started bleeding on your partner without even knowing it. You wouldn't know that what your actions or you were doing were just because of trauma and the toxic relationship you were in. Some time ago, I had someone who was sharing with me how he couldn't really trust the fiancé because he just felt, well, this may soon end again. Why? Because previous relationships he had, communication wasn't so on point, and before you knew it, the relationship would just end after much struggle. So when he started another relationship with another lady, he started having those fears. And those fears made him not to release his heart in that relationship. And the partner started complaining until he opened up and I was able to help him. So, unresolved trauma, childhood trauma, relationship trauma, you must be able to identify that. Issues from toxic relationships. Why was it toxic? What happened? You need to be able to go through a process that would help you understand what it is. So you can see that all these processes, if not put in place, there's no way you can be a flourishing spouse. You don't understand your birth order, you don't understand your attachment style, you don't even understand whether you are satisfied about your life, you don't understand that you are experiencing trauma. You just know you react. When somebody talks, immediately they mention a particular thing, wow, that it triggers you. You don't even understand that you are traumatized. A lot of people are experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder and they don't even know. They just know that immediately they remember some things, immediately someone brings up a conversation, they just switch off. They don't want to listen. But they don't even know why it's happening to them until they are helped through counseling or through a professional coach who could help them understand that, oh, you are experiencing something that you need to overcome. So these are the things that you need to understand first, whether you are single, whether you are here or you are engaged, whether you are here or married. You must first of all check yourself first. You must first of all become flourishing and desirable. Then, as soon as you are flourishing, when you understand yourself, you'll be able to understand a lot of things. How comfortable are you being your authentic self? All I've been explaining means that being authentic has gone beyond just knowing your personality type and just frolicking with your weaknesses and like, okay, let me improve. You see that we have not even made mention of personality, because most people are always concerned about, oh, okay, this is my personality type, but there are a lot of other things that makes relationship to end in divorce, or makes people, to experience marital crisis that they are not aware of. And so research shows that couples who are highly aware of their partner's strength tend to be more satisfied with their relationship and much less likely to separate and divorce. So, for someone to be able to understand and be aware of the partner's strength, that means the partner is self-aware. And you could communicate that, oh, this is me. These are my weaknesses, these are my triggers. But a partner who doesn't even really know a lot about themselves, how will a partner be able to align? And so you need to be able to communicate to your partner who you are. And that is why I want to ask, have you ever created your intimacy playbook? And somebody's like, oh, what is intimacy playbook? It's what you create that shows who you are. And you are able to just give a potential partner, if you are single, and like, this is me. Can you marry this person? So it's not, you don't even need to say much. Person goes through that, okay, no, sorry, I don't like these values. I cannot accommodate these values. It's not until you have now said, okay, I do, then you now start realizing a lot of things. And that is why one of the mindsets, we shared yesterday is that when you enter marriage, is like, yes, you now discover new things. But if you create this intimacy playbook, you would have settled a lot of things about yourself that you could share and let a potential partner know that, okay, this is me. And it will help you to even know who you can bring into your space. It will help you to know the right partner because you have understand yourself. This intimacy playbook, well, is one of my professional tools, and that I administer what you look like, what you detest. It will help you uncover what makes you come alive. Because there are some questions you cannot even ask yourself until you get assessment that helps you think. It must be able to define your strengths, your personal values, your struggles, your anxiety, how to support you in time of distress, how to bounce back, how to be compatible, how to make compatibility easier for you. But if you don't know these things and you just get married, then when you get married, you feel, oh, your partner is harsh. You wouldn't even know that it's personality difference. I've seen a lot of personality clash in my marriage counseling program. They just feel that they are being attacked by the devil. They feel the enemy is at work. But by the time administer the some professional tools and assessment, oh, they realize that, okay, there's even personality clash. Oh, it's even lack of love language awareness. Oh, okay, it's like childhood trauma experience that they didn't even know about. Oh, it's attachment styles that they didn't even understand. So you need to create this book. You need to create for yourself. If you're single, it's something you need to have so that you will be able to know the person who will be able to come into your space. Most of the people, the singles who have gone through my counseling process, some will come and say, I was in a conversation with this person and he made mention that he does not want somebody who sings, that just like an example. And I'm called to be a singer. I'm a music minister. And this person said that he doesn't like those who just go about singing. And so, why are you going ahead if you know that is your call? But we have some people, they don't even understand what they have in there. They don't understand their values. Just like those singles I said I was discussing with, they don't even understand. They just feel, well, I love singing, and when I get married, we have to cope now. You can't. So this playbook will really help you. I want us to gain speed. Now, based on all I've said, all the blind spots I've brought up again tonight, how satisfied are you about yourself? We've talked about attachment style. We have talked about the birth order. We've talked about the trauma. We have talked about toxic relationship experiences. Now, I want you to rate your current level of personal marriage readiness. And before this, an assessment was sent to our mail. If you about marriage readiness too, that was just part one. This is part two, because those questions were to uncover some things about ourselves. I want you to go to the chat box if you answered those questions, if you received your score, if you answered the assessment questions and you received your score. So before we even attend to this, I want you to go to the chat box and just type yes. If you have done that assignment, I want you to type yes, you received it either through mail or through maybe the WhatsApp platform. I want you to go to the chat box and type yes if you have done that. If you have gotten your score, I just want you to type yes. I want to know. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's great. Okay, that's great. Now, this is now the second part. Based on all that I have just shared with you, the blind spots that exist but you do not see, and has been affecting your choice of life partner, it has been affecting your marriage, it has been affecting your engagement. Even before you say I do, you're already feeling burdened. Now, I want you to rate your current level of personal marriage readiness. No need to write this, don't need to type it, because it's not a time for us to judge. We are not judging anyone by to maybe rate yourself. Oh, I am 2/10, I am 10%, I am 20. But where you are now, I just want you to think and answer this. I want you to rate your current level of personal marriage readiness based on all that we have uncovered this night, based on all the blind spots, all these blind spots. I want you to rate your current level. If all those are your experiences, that means that rate could be very low. If you have been able to go through process to uncover, then you know that you would. Okay, you didn't receive. Okay, some have received it. You didn't. Okay, you didn't receive it. Okay, if you didn't receive it, then please just send your phone number. Just type your phone number there. Then it will be copied, and or yes, just type your phone number. Then admin will just pick it up, and it will be sent to you after this program, because that's the part one and tonight. And so if you have done this, I want you to just type done. Remember, you are not to type your rates, what you have, the rate you've given yourself. No need to type it, but I want you to type done if you know you have done this. Your current level of personal marriage readiness, if you have just rated yourself, I want you to type done. Because here at Married with Harmony, our logo is self-awareness and fulfillment. And that is why we are always, intentional. Okay, if you didn't receive it, please just type out your phone number. The admin will pick it and send it to you after this class. So if you have rated yourself, your current level of personal marriage readiness. Based on all we have said this evening, I want you to type done. Type done there in the comments. Just type done. As I was saying, logo is self-awareness and fulfillment. And so that is why we are intentional about assessment, about tools to help people understand their blind spots. Because if we are going to reduce the rate of divorce, we must help people understand the basics that we help them build right. And so that is why we are more intentional about a marriage coaching program that helps people to remove all these blind spots and become their authentic self, to know who to marry, to choose the right partner in the relationship, to know how to blend. Okay, done. Good. So we are good to go. All right. Okay. I'm happy that some received it. So now let's move forward. So let us understand that the more self-aware you are, the more partner-aware you can become. Just like I just mentioned a few minutes ago, when you understand yourself, you will know who can come into your space. While after my service here, someone told me, a guy told me, we're close, very close friends, but nothing, was involved. We're just church members, but we're very close. And he said, Bunmi, I cannot marry somebody who just takes other people's burden on her head, the way you do. It's too much. You carry people's burdens a lot. That could be a joke. But I caught that, oh, this is not the right partner for me. Because I was self-aware. I knew my values. I knew my vision. I knew a lot of things about my life. I knew about my upbringing, coming up from a broken home. I knew what I was desiring in life, the type of marriage I wanted then. And so when he made that to me, like, this was a no. If he eventually came up to say, oh, can we just make this friendship, can we take it further? I would say, oh, guy, no, we can't. Why? But we've been friends for a long. We can't, because we are not on the same lane. And so the more self-aware you are, the more partner-aware you can become. But all these processes, you really need guidance in order to be sure you are doing it, you are getting it right. Okay, well done. Okay, done. All right, great. Okay, so please, if you didn't receive it, like I said earlier, just type out your number and the mail, or your mail, and it will be sent to you. The pillar 2 is, we already said pillar 1 is being a desirable and flourishing spouse. Then number 2 is having the second pillar that will help you have strong and fulfilling marriage, is having a shared mindset about marriage with your spouse. Because you need to understand that your marriage success depends on how aligned your beliefs are. I made mention of this scripture yesterday, that can two work together except they agree? There are lots of people, they say, oh, but God told me this is the person I'm going to marry. God is not a God of confusion, and you are not agreeing in a lot of things. So whatever God told you and it doesn't align with his word, you should know that that is not God. Because God cannot contradict his word. He already told us a relationship, let me put it, expo, that two cannot work together. Your relationship cannot work except you agree. So agreement is a non-negotiable when you are choosing a life partner. So having a shared mindset about marriage with your spouse is very, very compulsory. So the success depends on your beliefs. How strong your marriage will be depend on your beliefs. And in order to activate your desire, when we say luck, you are lucky. A lot of people tell some of us maybe who are several years in marriage and we are thanking God for blissful marriage. You are lucky. You are lucky. Oh, me, I don't have that luck. But now let me tell you how to activate that. You need to marry someone. You need to choose the partner who has the same the beliefs you have. Because you need to agree. Even if the person doesn't have your belief, somebody who could just agree that, okay, yes, this makes sense. Oh, true, this makes sense, because you may not even marry somebody who is exactly your type, but somebody who can support your belief that, yes, okay, it's true. I never thought of this. Your belief will give way to your behaviors, and it will give you your expected results, which is a strong and fulfilling marriage. That is what I call the triangle of life. Your beliefs. What are your beliefs? It will give way to your behavior in your relationship, and it will determine the result you have. So if you don't believe the same thing, you have different behaviors, you have different results. It's just like this picture here. You can see that they are not they are not moving together. That is how it is when couples do not have shared beliefs. You just struggle to work together because you don't fundamentally agree on the basics of marriage and life. One feels that in-laws can come in anytime. Another believes that no, they can't come in anytime now. Let them, they are to inform us. And that was like, no, the people that, they are those who raised me, they, and the fight starts. Some parenting, some accommodation start. I've had a lot of experiences. I had an intended couple who were planning to get married, and the husband to be was like, let's just start with a room and parlor, self-contained. Let's just start with that. And the wife was like, no, 2-bedroom flat or nothing else. The husband to be believed that, oh, we could just start gradually so that we could gain more money in order to invest and do more. But the other person doesn't even believe that. Let us do what we have to do now. We have a lot of issues because your beliefs are different. Your beliefs about life, your beliefs about how marriage should be, they are very different. So, do your beliefs align with your partner's belief? If you are engaged now, remember, the first pillar is about you. It starts with you. The second pillar is about you and your partner, or you, if you are married, you and your spouse. Now, the question is, do your beliefs align with your partner's beliefs? I want you to think about that wherever you are now, because it is important you identify your core beliefs about marriage, especially in the areas of superiority, leadership, decision-making, partnership, financial transparency, external influence, control, and life priorities. You need to be able to understand the beliefs of your partner. There was this video that I shared, I think, some time ago. This husband's belief was that as the husband, he was not to do anything in the home. He is the lion of the tribe of his marriage. Because of the culture he grew up with, this upbringing. That was his belief. The wife didn't know until they got married and she had a lot of things to do. The husband was not assisting. Rain fell, clothes were outside, rain beat the clothes. She was like, and you were at home when rain was falling. You did not help me. And he was like, no. As the husband, I'm not expected to do anything. And that is how we are in my family. That marriage, you know, became dysfunctional. It ended. It broke down because of their beliefs. And so you need to understand the beliefs about superiority. If you feel that the husband is Lord of all, or he is a leader that could help you, or your wife to be, or your wife, if you are married, believes in leadership, just believes that, yes, okay, how do we make decisions? Okay, let us make it based on expertise. Okay, if you understand this more, you do it. If I understand it, it could be on partnership, financial transparency. I have a lot of couples coming. I can't even tell my husband this financial aspect. I can't tell my wife this. But if you had done the right thing, you would have known who will give you peace. You would have known who you can be transparent with, and you are safe. You will know somebody that external influence is a big deal too or not. So, this second pillar, these are blind spots that you really need to attend to and fix before you say I do if you are not married. And if you are married, it is not too late. I want us to know that, like building, there are some people after erecting a structure, they just feel, no, 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 I don't like this building again. They pull it down, pull everything down, and they start another foundation for a final structure. That is how it is with marriage. It is not too late to do anything right, to do things right. They'll say, oh, we're already 20 years. And that is why you see a lot of people, you hear a lot of people 30 years in marriage and they're filing for divorce. And you're like, after all these years, just because a lot of things, they couldn't help each other, they couldn't help themselves. So your beliefs should align to a great extent. And if you are in a marital relationship, if you are engaged or if you are married here, have you discussed your marriage expectations in key areas of marriage? Just like in that first slide. Have you discussed? If you are engaged, courtship is a time to research and talk. It's not a time you just, I love you, romance, and you leave the main thing. Most people prepare for the wedding day. As soon as they get engaged, they are thinking of, okay, when are we going for introduction? When are we doing the engagement? Okay, what are the ashwebis that we need? The cake? Those are the things. But courtship time is a time to research the cultural background of the two of you, the trends. What are your expectations as it pertains to sex? Quality time together. There are some who just believe that, my work, I can't compromise. I can't just compromise being at home this particular time. They don't value quality time. Just like I mentioned, housing. What are your expectations? If you are married, all these conversations are still very vital. Housework. The example I gave, the husband doesn't believe that men are to work. And we have a lot of people like that. And so the women are dying with a lot of chores. And these same men are those who still feel that they don't need house help. We have a lot of ladies who, in fact, there are some men, is after they get married, they discover that their wives cannot even cook, cannot wash, cannot do a lot of things. So, what are your expectations? When you discuss this before you say, I do, it would have helped you to do a lot of things. It's not about judging or maybe ending the relationship if the expectations do not align, but it's for you to be able to create system. Okay, how do we go about it? If these are your expectations and these are my expectations, okay, how do we align? So socializing money, vacations. I have a lot of couples say, oh, I love to go out, I love to socialize, but my wife is just not interested. Oh, my husband just feels I'm doing too much. So, what are your expectations? Romance, coping with differences in opinions, children, emotional needs and intimacy, other relationships. There are some after, as soon as they get engaged, you are not to relate with any other person. You need to really define your expectations, your personal interest, extended family relationships, your community contribution. Some are not interested in any community contribution. It's just me, myself, and I. And if you are such who wants to give to the society, who wants to impact, if you don't define your expectation and see if you can align, then there will be issue. Your life vision, they need to be discussed early in marriage. So that is why even if you're already married, these discussions are still vital. And that is why for those who are single, you need to look out for teachability, somebody who you could work together as a team, somebody who you could share your expectations with, and the person will not see it as stupid. The person will say that, okay, we need to work together. So if you are married, if you are engaged, these are those blind spots that makes the marriage not to be strong and not to be fulfilling. But when you understand these blind spots and you fix them, you can't but have a solid foundation. Now, have you discussed your relationship turn-offs and your potential deal breakers? This is another blind spot people don't really talk about. Yet it causes so much damage. Your turn-offs, your deal breakers, what are the things that could happen and that relationship will experience like crisis. So having honest conversation about what you won't like to see is very important. And why should you have these conversations? What you feel that is okay by you may not be okay by your partner. So you shouldn't come into a relationship assuming they will understand how you are. Remember, as soon as you get engaged or you get married, it's no longer your space. It's no longer I. It becomes we. And so maturity is being able to accommodate and be able to discuss maturely in order to reach a compromise. So you need to discuss the traits, habits, and manners of your partners that put you off, how frequently they occur, and how much they irritate you with compassion. And I want you to say something here. There are some people, they are not emotionally mature to handle some of these conversations. So you just need like a process that could help you. And you know that this is what you need in your marriage. This is what you need in your marital relationship. So you need a neutral person to help you. So your partner should also know the things you may struggle to let go of if they happen in your marriage. That is potential deal breakers. You need to discuss all these things now. And just like I said earlier, these conversations could just, can get heated, especially when you have opposing expectation in some areas. Be prepared to disagree to agree. And even if you must take a break when it is becoming heated, resist ignoring talking about opposing expectations. If you can remember the effective communication skills I shared yesterday, you will know that when you apply them, it will help you to discuss your expectations without issues. So having a marriage coach moderate these conversations too can be very, very beneficial so that nobody feels judged, nobody feels the partner is partial or anything, but the conversations will be, done and moderated in order to reach a compromise where the two parties are seen, they are heard, and everyone is fine. And so if you are engaged here, I want you to go to the comments section. I want you to type yes. If you're engaged or if you are married, I want you to go to the comments and type I am engaged, or if you are married, I am married. I am engaged, I am married. I want us to take that question first before this rating. If you are engaged, I want you to I am engaged, I am married. I am engaged, I am married. I am engaged, I am married. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. That's good. Now, where you are, just as the singles did, I want you to rate your current level of team centered readiness based on all we have discussed tonight. How, what will you rate your current level of team centered readiness? How well do you blend with your spouse if you are married, or with your partner if you're engaged? How well do you align your beliefs, your vision? How well do you find yourself a safe space where you are not judged? Your personality, your lifestyle could be different, but when you, okay, all right, okay, I'm glad. So I want you to rate yourself and write down, just like the singles did. I want you to rate your current level, where you are, over 10. What will that be? If you are to rate yourself, I want you to rate yourself. I want you to rate your current level of team-centered readiness. That yes, we are a team. We work like, as a team. How well do you work as a team? Okay? And type done as soon as you're done. I want you to type done. No need to write your rate on the comment there in the comment section, but just write done if you have done that. If you have rated yourself, just write done. While we move on to the third pillar. All right, before we move to this third pillar, whether you are single, whether you are married, whether you are engaged, I want you to type the pillars discussed so far. I want you to just type the pillars discussed. I want to be sure we are together. I want you to type the pillars. What's the first pillar? What's the second pillar? Why we take this last one? What's the first pillar? What's the second pillar? What are they? Then we move straight to this. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's move to pillar 3. Well done, everyone. I'm glad you're engaging. I'm glad you're following well. That is how to be good students in the class. So I'm glad I have those who are learning well. Now, the third pillar is co-creating flexible systems that support your personal and mutual harmony. I want you to understand that systems permit ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. Systems, when we talk about systems means putting in place like guidelines, habits, actions that will guide all that is to be done in that. And that is why here at Married with Harmony, we always refer to marriages as nation, because of systems that must be put in place in a marriage for it to thrive. If you are going to enjoy marriage, creating flexible systems is just a must. Remember, this is co-creating. It's not just about one person sitting down to describe how everything must be. No, it's about two people sitting down to discuss how they want to run it. Like I made mention yesterday, before we got married, my husband and I, we had to put some systems in place when it comes to community engagement, our spiritual lives, parenting, how to keep the fire of love burning. We just have to put them in place. If not, a lot of things, marriage would have choked a lot of things and you wouldn't even remember many things. So creating system is the third pillar. So when the first pillar is being a desirable spouse, the second pillar is being able to align with your spouse, with your beliefs. The third is co-creating flexible systems. And for any marriage to be strong and fulfilling, you must have this family systems activation template. You must have your family governing system, the leadership style. You must have your legacy system. What do you want to be known for? You must have your family communication system. How do you want to communicate? Because we have some people who are not, if you don't really create a system, you may not get them to talk. You may not get them to communicate. So if you have a system on how to talk, when you need to talk, how you should talk, then a lot of things will be put in place. Your family recreation system. You need to be able to understand, okay, how do we want to catch fun? Yes, after work, how do we want to ensure that we have time to rest? What do we do? How do we go about the family education system? You need to understand that the fact that you are getting married doesn't mean your life has ended and there will be no growth. So what with the education system you want to put in place so that there will be growth? It could be physical education, spiritual education, financial education, every aspect of life. How do you want to grow? What are your plans to ensure that after marriage, you are not stagnated just because of responsibility? So you need to quickly define the system. And it's not when you get married, you say, oh, and I desire to just further my studies, but oh, it's not, because you didn't even plan, you didn't discuss, you didn't create a system on how to achieve it. Because if you create that system, it would have helped the two people in that relationship to even be budgeting, to know, okay, how do we want to work to see that, oh, this growth is there. Also needs to discuss, have a system, family well-being system. How do you want to work on your health? Being in good health, how do you want to work on that? You have family domestic management. Do you want people to come and work with you? Do you want domestic staff or not? What are the systems you want to put in place? If you don't need domestic staff, you need to agree on these things. And it's not that somebody will just sit down, wake up, and just do anything anyhow. If you don't stand for something, using systems, you will fall for anything. So you need to have your family economic system. How do you want to go about financial management, budgeting, savings, future projects? How do you want to achieve them? What do you want to be doing? So it's not as if today somebody just goes to the account and say, okay, this is what we are to do. Oh, I just withdrew money. Oh, this. It's not until you have joint accounts that you can manage your family system. You need to really agree on the type of account you want. But the main thing is that let there be a system that will guide it so that the two people will feel seen. Nobody will feel cheated. Your family security system, you need to put this in place. Who enters your house, how you want people to come in and go out, where you feel you should, reach out to. You need to put all those things in place. So this is the family harmony systems. And there are processes that need to be put in place. There are questions that must be answered in order to build a worthy systems. There are guidelines, there are books. They need to be documented. Before we got married, we were documenting because we could easily forget. The weakest pen is still better than a memory that is very sharp. I won't forget. There are some things that you will still miss out if not documented. And that is why most of the time we take couples through professional assessment tools that will help them know the right questions to ask. Because sometimes you may not even think about some questions until you have some tools that okay, this is true. I've seen a lot of couples tell me that, oh, we never thought about this. Oh, it's true. We need to attend to this. We never thought about this question. Wow, we need to do this. But ordinarily, they wouldn't have even thought about that. But if we are going to build, we really need to put all these things in place. Your family manifesto. Why are we saying this? For the marriage to be strong and fulfilling, not just any type of marriage we are talking about here. We are not talking about how to get married and we are discovering the blind spot. No. We are talking about strong and fulfilling marriage. If it's going to be strong, then all these blind spots must be uncovered and fixed. So your team brand with your partner or spouse is very significant part of building your relationship. What is your vision? What do you want to be known for? What is it? What do you want to achieve? Your family vision, your mission, your values, your DNA code, your legend. These are things that always come together to help couples to build it. Your vision, what your marital vision is different from your individual vision. Before you get married, before you start a relationship, you should have sorted your vision. And your vision will be in your marital vision. Your marital vision is what you want to achieve, what that marriage, what your nation wants to achieve. That vision will help you to define your values. Just like in my home, we have our values. We have the acronym for our values that guides. So that when you understand your vision, you have your mission. How do you want to achieve this vision? This marriage, this your marital vision. So that is what I always term as your family manifesto. That you sit down, you review. It's not just like a one-time thing. You review because life could happen. And you could just need to change some things. That is why it needs to be documented so that you have a consistent review time. Oh, how well did we do here? But we wrote this. Oh, we didn't achieve this. Okay, what should we do? So it helps you to move your nation, not just about yourself, but to build a marriage that will impact your children, that will impact the society. Your marriage is not just for you alone. And that was why God said that the desire, he said it in Malachi, that the two are to become one in order to bring godly offspring. That means your marriage is for impact. But you cannot impact if you are not flourishing, which was our first pillar. You cannot impact when you don't agree. You cannot impact when you don't have systems put in place. Even God, our creator, the Bible says he opposed all things by the word of his power. He did not just leave everything like that to just be moving. Everything is in place. So God established the marriage institution and he expects that you marry the right person, marry a teachable person who could create systems with you so that there could be a pattern that will be replicated and the peace through marriage could spread around. So you need a system, you need a process where you will be able to do this. If you are single, you need like A process that will shine the spotlight on you beyond what you understand. You don't even understand that the way you get angry is because of trauma. You don't even understand that how you behave to people is just because of your attachment style, your birth order. You don't even understand it because you are not fully satisfied about yourself. You don't understand your non-negotiables. You just accept everything that okay, let me just marry. But when you have that spotlight through a professional process, or maybe you are married or you are engaged, you have that spotlight where the two of you, nobody will feel that, oh, you are partial. Why are you asking this question? But it's a process that two of you are, being passed through. So it feels so safe. Nobody is feeling judged. Nobody is saying, why are you asking? Why do you want to know? No. So it helps a lot of systems to be put in place to guide you, to give you questions, to be able to understand what you need to do. And I want you to know that marriage is one of the sweetest relationships a person can have. Yet, it can be complex to build a mutually satisfying one. It's easy for you, it could just be easy to do things by yourself. But when it comes to somebody coming into your space, you need that help, that guidance. That makes it to be sweet, that makes it to be flourishing, that makes it to be strong. But for it to be a mutually satisfying one, where either of the partners don't feel that they are being ignored, they are not seen. A lot of counseling sessions where the husband will just share his burdens about not being satisfied with what the wife was doing. The same thing with wives. A lot of complaints. Why? All these processes, they don't even know how to put it through in their marriage. But thank God, because when they come over, they receive help and they are happy. I'm always glad about testimonies, and you will. So if you are here, I want you to tell me the pillars, the system. Just tell me one or two systems. I want you to type one or two systems. I want you to go to the comments and type one or two systems that we have discussed tonight. Other family activation, system activation. I want you to type it. I want to type it. One, two, anyone, just type the system. All right, that's okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, now, having said all these three pillars, we have seen that we have a lot of blind spots. That marriage is just beyond, I have somebody who could pay my bills. I have somebody who could cook for me. Oh, it goes beyond just love. I love him, I love her. Because most people who are in love just end up not enjoying marriage. So why? So that means more is needed. More things are needed in the marriage. And that is why these three pillars, if you are intentional about these three pillars as a single person, or you are engaged or married individual, if you are intentional, these are proven systems, these are proven framework, it's not based on what the experience of the coaches, no, they are based on researches, proven works, to show that if you are going to build a fulfilling marriage, then a marriage, harmonious marriage, a strong marriage, that no matter the challenges of life, no matter what happens, no matter the issues of life, you are able to stand strong. All right. So I want to ask a question. Would you consider a marriage preparation program with a proven track record based on all you have learned? Would you consider a marriage preparation program with a proven track record? Do you think you need to really have the spotlight shine on a lot of blind spots for you to see? Because just like driving, a driver may not be able to see everything around the car, even after adjusting the mirror, until somebody, an external person, a neutral person, could just help out. So also in marriage, in marital relationship too, there are a lot of blind spots that you need to uncover through a process. And it is for those who are teachable, it's for those who are ready, to move a long way. And that is why I'm asking this question, that would you consider a marriage preparation program with a proven track record, not just talking? If you are single here, any marriage preparation program that you would go through must start with self-awareness, to become more self-aware. That should be a non-negotiable. And if you are engaged, that marriage preparation program must have self-awareness, must have alignment, how to help you align. Because after helping both partners to become more self-aware, it shouldn't just be like that alone. It must help you to now understand, how do we align? Okay, now this is my personality. This is my personality. How do we align this? We have been trying to make things work, but it's not been okay. Now, let's check one of our marriage preparation. Let's check the marriage preparation we have at Marriage with Harmony, previous ones. Let's check some testimonials. We have Bunmi just concluded solid foundation training. The June edition is really an eye-opener and mind-busting. There's no way you go through all these processes that it will not be an eye-opener and mind-busting. That is, if it's here. I really want to appreciate our coach, mentor, and mother. That's from Bunmi. We also have Josephine. I'm grateful because the marriage coaching is for both singles and singles engaged and married. I'm grateful for the solid foundation training, June edition, I received during my courtship journey. It equipped me with valuable insight and tools that have fostered a smooth and harmonious relationship with my fiancé. In fact, with my fiancé. And I gained a deeper understanding of our temperaments, helping us to navigate our differences and strengthen our bond. She goes further to say, solid foundation truly solidified my relationship foundation, and I'm thankful to report this progress on this platform. She was even making it open. Thank you very much, Mrs. Bunmi Adesiyan, for this wonderful training. We are blessed. We also have Koinsola. This training has really been an eye-opener for me, and it's not just about the theories. The practical aspect of it has really been helpful. Just like I said earlier, at Married with Harmony, we don't believe so much in pumping people with theories that they don't even know how to administer, how to work with. But we believe so much in assessment, reflection, tools that will help you discover who you are. I personally, over the years, before I started, before I started administering tools, I felt I knew the love language of my husband. And, I concentrated on what I assumed I knew then, until I administered the professional tool. And I discovered, because the professional tool, the person will answer, they will answer themselves. So you that you are just assuming, just okay, this is what this person likes. You won't know you have been loving wrongly, and you just feel upon all I've been doing. So what is happening? What has I've done everything, but you wouldn't know that you have not been able to love the right way. You've not been able to love the person acceptably. You've not been able to do it the right way until I administered to the tool to my husband, and I discovered that wow, even the love language, was completely different from what I assumed it was. And so that is why it is very, very practical. Our marriage coaching programs are very, very practical. And she concluded by saying, I'm really grateful to Mrs. Bunmi Adesiyan for this great opportunity. And I wouldn't want to put so much, I would just want to stop here. So sincerely, it's been worthwhile and educating. Most of us didn't have a firm marriage counseling before we got into marriage, hence our problems and challenges. And that is it. If you don't discover the blind spots, that problems and challenges are inevitable. But he said, if we had known what we know now, after the marriage coaching, our marriages would have little or no issues, because there are systems that cannot fail, using proven frameworks. Thank you, Madam Bunmi, for all you do. More grace. And that is Paul. And that is what we do during our marriage preparation coaching, the Solid Foundation program. The Solid Foundation program, it's both for singles and the married, and we are starting the next cohort. And what is about Solid Foundation training? How this program gives your marriage a solid foundation if you are engaged and married. This edition is starting 23rd of August till 18th of October. The process is what you will go through, what you will come out with is you break free from unhealthy relationship patterns created by your attachment style and birth order. It's one thing to discover it. It's another thing to know how to break free. Heal from unresolved trauma, betrayal, and emotional wounds that may be affecting trust, intimacy, and communication. You are going to gain deep self-awareness through personalized relationship assessment that reveal your strengths, your blind spots, and growth opportunities. You are going to recognize the hidden patterns and early warning signs that lead to marital crisis before they damage your relationship, because it's going to be personalized tools that will be administered. So it's not a program there where you just talk and teach. You will be able to see it ahead. Yeah, you'll be able to, through this program, you'll be able to build stronger compatibility, communicate more effectively, and handle disagreement without growing apart. A lot of couples are apart because of disagreement. There is no marital relationship that will not experience disagreement, but disagreements should make your strong bond to be stronger. If you are well equipped, you will understand that disagreements are to make you to become aware of what are the potential issues that you need to sort out. They are not meant to make you to go apart. But if you are not helped, you may not understand this. Also, to create your practical family systems that bring greater peace, stability, teamwork, and lasting harmony into your home, and to rebuild trust, deepen emotional intimacy, and strengthen connection as a husband and wife. You're also going to live with a personalized action plan to help you build a healthier, happier, more fulfilling marriage. That is why it's 8 weeks, August 23rd till 18th of October, 8 weeks, in order to ensure that we do our part to make couples not to end up getting divorced. And this is our own contribution And during this 8 weeks program, you'll be able to create your intimacy playbook, your personal intimacy playbook. That is your personal know me better, love me better handbook. If you are single, well, there's still a coaching. If you are single, your intimacy playbook is what you can give to your potential partner. I say, this is me. Can you do life with this person? So you don't even need more talking again because you have been able to put everything together. This is me. Can you do life with this person? So if you are married, don't worry, I'm coming to the singles version. So as those who are engaged and married, your family manifesto, which will comprise of your vision, values, your mission statement, what your family stands for, your mandate, your guide, so that you are building something that is generational. It's not just about you. Children coming in into that family, they already have the values, the marital vision, and they to grow up. When they grow up, they replicate same. They too, they have their own vision, their values, but you have been able to create that template that could become generational. Then you have your systems, family systems guidebook, all the systems we have discussed, your family effectiveness manual that you could review from time to time. If you are single, like I said earlier, teachability is a non-negotiable. And so for the single edition, we have 4 weeks program. The seller links are there. The seller links for registration are there. You can check the comment section. If you are engaged, if you are married, that's the seller link for you to make. Then a proven framework for choosing the right life partner with confidence. Exclusive relationship assessment that reveal your strengths, uncover your blind spots, and enhance your marriage readiness. The ability to identify early warning signs and compatibility issues before making a lifelong marriage commitment. Freedom from childhood wounds. These are the things you are living with, an emotional baggage that may be influencing your relationship choices. Freedom from them. There's no way you go through this training that you will not remove the mask, because everyone enters into a relationship with mask, with unknown identity, because of all that you have taken on yourself while growing up, where you schooled, all that happened to you. And so you will live with practical insight that could save you years of heartbreak and pain of marrying the wrong person. You also have you'll be able to create your intimacy playbook for greater self-awareness and a clear roadmap to choosing your right partner. The investment just for 4 weeks is 40,000, but because you are in this masterclass, this is strictly for those in this masterclass. It's valid 35,000. It's valid for 72 hours. After 72 hours, it goes back to 40,000. Whereas for solid foundation, for the couple, those who are engaged, those who are married, the 8 weeks masterclass, it's going to be 80,000. That is for a couple, not individually, a couple, and it's the two people. But for those who are in this masterclass, within the next 72 hours, it's going to go for 69,000. Just to appreciate you for being intentional about your marital life. And each week, for singles, the 4 weeks, there'll be a life coaching session per week for you to understand what you have to do that week, for you to understand the tools that will be administered that week, for you to understand what to do that week. And so there'll be a life coaching, and it will be recorded for reward, so that even if you are not there, there'll be exclusive WhatsApp platform for those for a paid group, for you to always have access to information and not miss out on any information. So there'll be a WhatsApp group for those who are single, those who have made payment, the paid group for the couple, so that you can have all the details throughout the training. And after the 4 weeks, and for the singles, and 8 weeks for the couples and those who are engaged, we are not just leaving you to go. There will still be follow up and review. We have the opportunity to join our Marriage with Harmony community, where we have activities every week, self care program, teachings, just to ensure that you don't fall off from what you have been taught, to ensure that you are grounded and keep your testimony for life. So, for those who are married, those who are single, the coaching section, the program starts 1st of August till 22nd of August. For the marriage edition, starts 23rd of August. And so the links are there in the comment section. And if you don't want to make your payment through the link, the phone number to contact is there, 081. If you want to write it down, you can write it down, 081 23 25 7628. I repeat, it's 081 23 25 7628. And you could get in touch with me through that line, and we'll be able to discuss more. So I want you to understand that a happy marriage is possible. I want you to go to the comment section and type "a happy marriage is possible." Maybe before you came here yesterday, you believe that marriage is a scam. Marriage is just it's more of wahala. I want you to go to the comments and type "a happy marriage is possible." Based on all that you have learned in these 2 days, I want you to go there and type "a happy marriage is possible." And I want you to get your questions set. If you have questions, after typing "a happy marriage is possible," a happy marriage is possible, I want you to type it. Yes, I want you to type it. Also, type your questions. So you can enjoy marriage if you start your marriage on the right foot by building these 3 essential pillars you learned here in your relationship. If you build these 3 essential pillars, if you are guided, if you are helped, if you don't build it on assumption that, okay, if you build it with proven framework, you will understand that truly. And for everyone here, I celebrate you. I'm rooting for you. We are rooting for you here at Marriage with Harmony. And we are sure that because of this knowledge, you will surely experience a wonderful marriage. You can type your questions. Our website is there, Married with Harmony. We have our website in case you want to visit our website. And we have our phone, WhatsApp number I dictated a few minutes ago. Our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Married with Harmony. And our LinkedIn. And it would be nice working with you. It would be nice ensuring that you have a solid marriage relationship. So do we have any question before we call it a day, or you understand all? You understand all, and there's no need, you don't have any question? Is there any question? Do you have any question before we round up? Okay. All right. So just like I always do, I conclude by telling you, okay, please go ahead. Question is on trauma. All right, please go ahead. You can type it out. I'm looking out for the question. Can type it out. Okay, I'm still expecting that question. Then we call it a day. Okay, all right. I guess the network is slowing down the. Okay, my dad always tell me while growing up that I'm nothing without him because he was paying my tertiary institution school fees. Okay, you are not true. So what is the question? This could be trauma bond, right? Is that what you are? So how to overcome this trauma? Because if you are not careful, you will just say that growing up with this, you will not be okay. And he threatened you that if he wants to stop you from schooling, that he won't pay your schooling fees anymore. All right. It's it affected you. That yes, yes, that was just a traumatic experience due to your attachment style. Remember, we said that attachment style, but through this program, we will be taking through a process to overcome that trauma and remove that mask. That is why we are putting up this program in order to help people like you who have not been able to help themselves to overcome this trauma and they are into marriage with it, because you will just see that sometimes you will just have to do something intentional to overcome it. So I look forward to seeing you in the training, because it's not something that you can just say you are getting over overnight. It's a process that you need to be taken through. It's a process that you need to be taken through. And that is why if you are engaged or married, I need you to register. If you are single, you need to register for the singles edition. If you are married, there's no investment that can be too much for your marriage, that can be too much for you to experience peace in life. There's no investment that can be too much for you to get it right. So I want you to send number to that so that you could join the wait list, and you'll be glad that you joined. So I look forward to seeing you in the 4 weeks training program if you are single. But if you are married, I look forward to seeing you in the 8 weeks program so that you could be helped and your partner too, or your spouse, could really gain help so that you don't continually bleed on him based on your traumatic experiences. So once again, you can reach me through 081-2325-7628. I want each one to celebrate yourself. I always love to end with that. Celebrate yourself, celebrate